words really just cannot describe how insane this feeling is, I just want to start off the video by saying, first and foremost, on July 3rd, 2017, I called this. As unreal as it may be, and as sarcastic as it may have been, the proof is on the internet. It's legitimately titled in all caps, the Eagles will win Super Bowl 52. It's a reality. The Eagles have won Super Bowl 52. And it's not the way I pictured them winning it. I didn't expect Wentz to get hurt. I didn't expect Nelson Agholor to ball out, be one of the 3 wide receivers on this team with 700 or more receiving yards, as well as 10 plus touchdowns from whoever. I didn't expect Nick Foles to end up balling out in the postseason, and taking the day to reflect. It's crazy. That's like the number one thing that is just the only thing that I could say is that it's crazy. And 2 years ago, around this time, I was actually looking at coaches the Eagles should pick up, or at least interview, We were, leading towards Pat Shurmur. There was John Gruden being thrown around, and then it turned into being Doug Peterson. And that was when I was just starting YouTube, and I literally said, this is the dumbest move we've ever done. Later on that year, I was saying that we need to cut Nelson Agholor. And later on, that was in November, after the Seattle game. And now I'm praising both of them. Now I'm thinking that they are both here and that they have stayed this entire time and they've done what they've done. Because Nelson Agholor being the most improved player on this roster, that's insane. And it shows what a year can truly do to a player. Nick Foles and his career resurrection, whatever he's going to do after this, go with it, whether he's going to sign with another team or retire or stay with the Philly, regardless of how he does, do it, because he's earned a chance to go start football as a starting quarterback for another team, or a chance to just retire with the Eagles after what he did and stuff like that. It's just crazy, And it makes you really think, now that this is day 1 of 2018, and, as far as offseason goes, for the Eagles and Patriots, that is. It's crazy that the Eagles won a Super Bowl without their starting quarterback, their Hall of Fame left tackle, one of the craziest, best running backs in terms of scrimmage yards, punt returning, and stuff like that. You lost your up-and-coming middle linebacker. You've lost your special teams captain. And you still managed to do this. You still managed to shock the world and win a Super Bowl, bring a championship to the city of brotherly love, a city that has been deserving of one ever since the Phillies, lost in 2009, lost that World Series. They've been dying for some kind of championship ever since that loss. They've been dying for an Eagles trophy to hit the city since 1960, and it's come in the craziest fashion. Breaking down the game, and I'm not going to break it down, I'm just going to highlight some things as I go along this video. It's going to be a long one, so if you're going to stick around, please do. But Nick Foles' touchdown catch, that was the biggest momentum shifter of this entire game. And then following that, the drive that the Patriots managed to get right after halftime, and then the Eagles repeating that and just scoring on a 75-yard drive of their own to keep a 10-point lead. That showed you that this team was not going to let this game go away. They were not going to sit by and just let Tom Brady do what Tom Brady does, as they always say, and lead the team back from a 10-point deficit in the Super Bowl and win, like he did against Seattle, like he did against the Panthers, like he did against every team he's won against. That's not gonna, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not falling into the trap that the Falcons and the Seahawks did in the last 3-4 years against the Patriots. We're not gonna let that happen. No way. We let them get that 1-point lead, and then Zach Ertz did an amazing catch and run for that touchdown that took way too long to review, and in the end, it paid off. We are champions. In the end, that fumble, that strip sack, the one and only sack of the game, Brandon Graham with the strip sack, Derek Barnett recovers the fumble. Chris Long on some added on pressure. It was just phenomenal, you know. And those were the three same guys that did it to Case Keenum a couple of weeks ago. It was just phenomenal. It was great. Nick Foles just had probably the best game of his career. You know, we want to talk about like a top 3 game. You know, I would go number 1 is the NFC Championship game 2 weeks ago. And then number 2 would be the Super Bowl. And then number 3 would be a 7 touchdown passes game. Because, come on, that was, okay, 7 touchdowns, all right. But it's not a Super Bowl. It's not a championship game. It's not that something that he just comes in the way he did and just manages to play the way he did and win us this title and then win us this trophy. You know, it's like that doesn't happen often. You don't see a backup quarterback do that every year. You don't see a backup quarterback do that every day. It's just not going to happen. And the fact that Nick Foles did the impossible after Carson Wentz went down, it's just fantastic. And I'm so happy. And to think the amount of people that are on this team now that weren't on this team last year, Jeffrey, Smith, Aguilar, Foles, just to name a few, Ajayi, LeGarrette Blount, Corey Clement, your starting running back committee, you know? A lot of guys that weren't on this team last year that are here now contributed big time. Howie Roseman, props to you for making this all happen. You're the guy that made all this happen. And you went to Doug Peterson mid-year and said, hey, how would you like Jay Ajayi to come to Philly? And he just lit up, and you knew what to do, and you brought him here to save our running back committee after Darren Sproles went down, after one of Small was struggling to stay healthy. And look what happened, you know. Jake Elliott, you missed an extra point after try, but I don't care. You came in for an injured Caleb Sturgis with so much pressure put on your shoulders. Not only did you have to kick a 61-yarder to win a game against the Giants, a division rival. That was before the Giants we knew were trash. That was when they actually had chances to win games back in week 3. But you had to go to a Super Bowl. And, you know, you had to ice the game with, like, well, a 42-yarder with, like, 1 minute, 50 seconds left. And you did it. You know, like, I can't even. There's so much that went into this team this year that it's crazy. It's just that's the only word I can say to describe this. It's just crazy, and the fact that we managed to defeat the GOAT in Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. You can make the excuse over the Ertz touchdown because we don't know what a catch is, or the Corey Clement touchdown catch because we don't know what a catch is, and that this rule needs to go through whatever it's going to go through this offseason in order to be fixed again. I don't care. You can try to draw up whatever excuse you want. The Philadelphia Eagles are your champions. It does not dispute that. And you got to give credit where credit is due. Doug Peterson outcoached Bill Belichick. Tom Brady got outplayed. Sure, Tom Brady broke a record with 505 passing yards. Sure, Tom Brady is the first quarterback to ever win an MVP award at 40 and play in a Super Bowl at 40. Is he the first ever quarterback to be a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP at the age of 40? No. That's what matters the most. Nick Foles went from backup to Super Bowl MVP. The Philadelphia Eagles won.